Well, the summer sun is brutal, no question about that, but the heat doesn't mean your garden should take a summer hiatus. I headed over to Blackhawk Hardware, the gardens there, and they have some plants that thrive in the shade from the ground up. A lot of us have areas of our home where there isn't a whole lot of sun shining, but we still want to have a lot of beautiful plants out there. I'm here with Mary Mitchell from the Gardens of Blackhawk. Good morning to you, Mary.
Good morning.
And you're going to help us out. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're going to help us out with that very issue that people have.
Well, it's an issue I have to deal with in my yard. I have a lot of shade, but I like color. And I wanted you to see all the variety of color that you can have in a shade garden. Okay. The hydrangeas are one of the most popular in the South, of course.
Yes, they are very popular during wedding season as well. I have a lot of friends who have used those because they make such a statement. They're so big. And
people tend to think of the big blue ones that we all grew up with. There are so many new varieties of whites and pinks and even purples. So look into that as a possibility to mix in with the ferns and everything else that you have in your yard.
And you can very often snip them off and put them in a vase. It makes a great present for whether it's your neighbor, your mother, just somebody that's done something special for you.
Yeah, in the fall you can even cut them and dry them and bring them in for dried arrangements in the fall.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We have some hostas here?
Hostas, good old faithful hostas. There are so many new varieties of hosta that have beautiful color to them. The chartreuse is especially popular. And if you mix that in with the other greens that you have in your shade garden, it really does a show for you. And they're perennial, they come back year after year, and they're relatively maintenance-free.
And some hostas actually have buds that will come off of them too, right?
Yes, and some of them are very fragrant. So you might, when you're looking around for a hosta, you might look at the tags too. If you're wanting a fragrant bloom, it'll tell you on there if it's fragrant or not. Okay,
and Mary, how do we take care of all the plants and the flowers and our beautiful shade garden? Because I imagine we don't have to water them quite as often.
You would think that, but that's not always true. If you have trees which are giving you that shade, you have roots, so the plants
are sucking up all the water.
Yeah. So a lot of times you can have what we call a dry shade garden. So it's very, very important that when you plant materials in there, you put compost, and that you are aware that you're going to have to give those plants a lot of water.
And what's the best test? I mean, do you just go and feel the area right under the front?
The plants will pretty much tell you. They usually kind of, if the leaves droop a little bit, that's usually a sign that you need to give them some water.
All right, very nice. Helping us out with our shade garden. Mary Mitchell from the Gardens of Blackhawk.